Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, yes, y'all. It is your host with the most, Michael Mugaboy, and we are here for another Remember, Repeat live interview. Excuse my French, you know what I mean? We going live in like a minute, so we're gonna play something just to get us in tune for a second. Let's go.
Let's get kids involved in the least of disciplines. One more, and then one more, and then another one, and then another one, and then some more. And the first thing you know, you're starting to weave the tapestry of a disciplined life into which you can pour more wisdom and more attitude and more strong feeling, more faith and more courage. Now you've got something, a vessel in which to put it, and now the equities start to flow.
I will be
and the early return, I'm telling you, if you'll start this process, the early return will have you so excited, you'll commit yourself to this strategy for the rest of your life. You'll never go back to the old ways. Join a new crowd, join a new group. The disciplines to do it, take action. I recommended the last time I was here, the little book, Richest Man in Babylon, and I said I've lectured now to over 3 million people in the last 33 years, and I've recommended this little book to almost all of them, I think. Guess how many have actually gone and got this little book? Answer, very few.
Sean P, what it do?
My best guess is 10%.
1 second.
Such an easy thing to do. In that last seminar, right, I suggested this little book, number one, is easy to find. Number two, it's easy to buy. The most you can pay for it, $6, $7, $8. You can borrow that from your kids. And number three, it's easy to read. It's in story form. That's why I use it for teenagers, teaching them how to be rich by 40, 35, if you're extra bright, much sooner, if you find a unique opportunity. But if it's easy to find and easy to buy, and if it's easy to read, why wouldn't everybody go get it? We don't know. What do you know? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's how profound it is. Some do and some don't. Now here's the numbers. About 10% do. 90% don't or won't. And we don't know the mystery of that. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, those numbers will still be the same. 10% will, 90% won't. The numbers don't change. Only the faces change. You're looking at one of the faces. I used to belong to the 90% who couldn't be bothered even if it was easy. Guess how many people have a library card? Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life in any value amount you want. By the way, how much is a library card in Texas? Free, here's what free is. Easy. I mean, it can't be any easier than free. Somebody says, well, would you bring it by? Well, no, at least you got to go get it. No. Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life spiritually, socially, personally, economically, and every other way. Teach you how to be rich and powerful and sophisticated and healthy, influential. How many people have a library card? Answer, 3%. 95, 97% couldn't be bothered. Guy specializes in happy hour, but he doesn't have a card. And now readily and quickly blames the government and blames his company and blames policy and blames the pay scale. When if he only knew, if he joined the 3%, here's my advice to you today. Walk away from the 97%. Don't talk like they talk. Don't act like they act. Don't go where they go. Don't specialize in what they specialize in. Throw away the blame list they cling to.
Anna. I see.
Start you a new life. You say, well, is it as simple as getting a library card and join the 3%? And the answer is, of course. Of course. That's how easy this stuff is. This is so easy. It's so simple. It's not complex. You don't need a 2,000-year-old guru. You don't need multi-track affirmations. I'm telling you, don't. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion.
My brother.
Salute, salute. What's going on, big bro?
Man, I'm just excited to be on your platform. I'm excited, and I'm always honored and privileged and blessed whenever somebody give me a chance to come on their platform to be a part of their audience, their following, their crowd. I'm only just honored to be here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Sean P, we just met like a week and a half ago, possibly
Yeah.
almost 2
Yeah.
weeks ago.
Yes,
And
sir.
to each her own. She just joined. She shouted us out. She connected us. She's the connector in this whole
Yeah.
situation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
My
That's
sister.
Trey. Shout
Yeah.
out to
Yeah.
Trey. We will be getting her on here soon. She told me that she'll be
I've been
opening
trying.
her interviews at during February.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's
I'm gonna get on.
yes,
I'm gonna get it in.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got to stick together, man. We got to make sure that everybody is hip to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a space of his own.
It
Sean P,
is.
I like your energy from when I first seen your videos, when I first got on the phone with you. You know what I mean? The phone conversations was live. And it's just two brothers. We two brothers, two black brothers, definitely connecting through books. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that's an
Yes.
amazing thing, man. Tell everybody about yourself, Sean P, the Sean P experience.
Okay.
Let them know where you from, all that good stuff.
Okay. Okay. To sum it up in a nice, pretty package, my name is Jonathan Polador, a.k.a. Sean P. I answer the boat, whatever you want to call it, right? And I come from a small city called Franklin, Louisiana, right? And prior military, U.S. Navy, 4 years in the Navy, right after high school. Then came back from the military, went to personal training. I have a 14 or 15-year personal training background, that part of my life, right? Then as a grown man in my 30s, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to college. Went to college, got my associates in business, bachelor's in psychology, master's in psychology. I want that PhD next, then I'll be Dr. Sean, right? So I got a psychology background with the personal training background. And I've been about 14 years public speaking, going to schools, churches, jails, organizations, community gatherings, you name it, trying to inspire, motivate, educate the community at large, man. So that's what I love doing.
Yes.
It's my life work. And I'm an author. I wrote 5 books, 5 self-help books, all on Amazon right now. You can go there and download, purchase, and I'll just start off like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shit, man. It's dope that you are author, bro. You know what I mean? And the fact that you wrote 5 books, right?
That's right. That's right.
Sheesh.
5 on it. Hey, 6 in the chamber. 6 already in the chamber. 6 is already written. I just got to publish it. It's already written.
Yeah.
So 6 in the chamber.
Yo, bro, that's dope, man. 6 books, 5 books, 1 in the chamber. Man, I'm still trying to get through to my second one. Like my first one is out on Amazon too. Grateful by Michael Boyd, and I'm just like I'm still in writer's block for the second one. You know what I mean? So I know what it's like to be on that journey, but I know you passed me, man, and I got a lot to look up to and learn from you. You know what I mean?
Well, let me put it like this, right? So I did 5 books. I did 4 books in 1 year. I did 4 books in the middle of the pandemic. We was all on lockdown. I was right. So I did 4 books in back-to-back months in the pandemic. 3 of them were #1 Amazon new release #1 Amazon. 3 of them back-to-back months, right? But after that, I had about the past 2-year stretch. I haven't published anything, right? I've been writing, haven't published anything.
Right.
So I also have a book of poetry I want to do. I got all these poems I've been writing. That's in my notes tucked away. I got these short stories I've been writing. That's tucked away. But as far as the literal publishing, I haven't done that because my hosting side of me, I didn't mention that part. On my platform, I have a show where I interview authors, poets, filmmakers, athletes, just interesting people.
Yes.
So for the past year or so, I've been so focused and concentrating on getting these guests, doing these interviews. I pride myself on my questions, getting these questions together. I've been so focused on that part. I haven't been focused on publishing more work, right?
Right.
And also the marketing side, the publicity side of what I already have. Because what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to go and print up 10 books and they're not really moving like I wanted to move. I want to really take the time to focus and get these books out properly per book.
Right.
Before I put out some more work. Right? If that makes sense.
Shout out to Black Man with Books.
Yeah.
Everybody that's linking with each other. Sean P put me on to Black Man with Books, and You know what I mean? It's amazing to just see how big the community is, man, and how many
It's
people
big.
are just like
Mm,
locked in. You know what I
mm.
mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it shows you that, you know, the books is definitely they doing something for us. You know what I mean? They definitely doing
And there's
something for us.
there's that misconception that us black guys are not reading, right? And Bookstagram could be a very female-dominated looking space,
Right.
but slowly but surely, we cracking in more people, black men with books. I didn't know who that man was till a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and now we done linked up. And you and I just met a week and a half ago, and now we linking up. So more and more, get more links to the change. You're gonna see a collective of a bunch of guys like us talking with intelligence and positive and
Mm-hmm.
uplifting, not derogatory,
Right.
not dissing
Yeah.
women, not
Yeah.
tearing down each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Me personally, I started reading. Let's say I picked the book back up. Well, when I got out of high school, you know, we went through all the mishaps. You know what I mean? We went through all the mishaps, gang activity, all types of shit. You know what I mean? And then what happened and the change for me was my little brother. You know, he got caught in an indictment with the same clique that we was rolling with together. And what happened was he ended up doing 7 years. So him doing 7 years, I had to change any little bit of myself that I thought was, you know, pushing him towards that. So when that happened, it was like, boom, okay, I got to focus up. You know what I mean? During that time, I had children. I said, damn, now I really got to focus up because now I'm a father. You know what I mean? Moved from where I was from to upstate New York. And I was like, okay, this is a lot more quiet, a lot more peace. So during that whole transition, that's when I started to like pick up a few books. You know what I mean? I had read The Secret back when I was in the city, and that one been took my mind out of its old thinking state. So I was like, okay, cool. Maybe that was what, you know, led me to this point. But I started reading a few books. I picked the books back up like 2018, 2019, right? Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, 50 Cent. Because you know, I had to get drilled in from what I kind of already know, right? We kind of already know the streets. We want to, you know, not that we want that mentality, but we want to hear from somebody that's like us. So I had to hear from 50. You know, I read his book, and I'm like, okay, this book right here is very strategic. Very strategic. Like, and it just shows how he grew from the person he was into a mogul, you know. And from 2019, I just been buying books, reading them, buying books, reading them. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich. You know, the self-help, that's my genre right there. Like, I love
See,
self-help books.
the black man with books, his main genre was self-help, and he and I talked about that on our live discussion. So tell me, what about the self-help genre really resonate with you? And as somebody just starting this for the first time, give them 5 books to start them off with. 5 books to start them
Well,
off.
I knew I needed help. So that was why I started seeking the self-help books, because I knew that it was like, all right, I look around, I'm not getting the results I want. You know what I mean? I'm going down this rabbit hole. Even when I came upstate, I started like selling weed and stuff like that, like bringing my old mentality up to my new life, and it just didn't fit. Like it worked for a little bit, but then it was like it's just not it. You understand? So what happened was, you know, like I said, the books just started waking me up. It's like, man, you know, attracting money as opposed to chasing it. Using your ideas to make money, right? Because at the same time, like you see, we got merch, remember, repeat shirts. Now we can sell shirts as opposed to selling you know, something else, narcotics or something. We can sell a brand, right? And just those ideas. I read Think and Grow Rich. That's one book I know that'll take you out of there. Like I said, Hustle Smarter, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. That one took me out of there. How to Win Friends and Influence People. The power of your, the power of, what is that one? Of your subconscious mind, and the the magic of thinking big. So I read those books, and it was like, okay, damn, like I'm thinking too small. You know what I mean? So had to take myself to a whole new level, big bro. And it was it hurted at first. It wasn't even easy. You know what I mean? I can't say like you're intriguing, but it's not easy, right? No. So it's like working out in the gym. The only way you're gonna get bigger or whatever the case may be is if you go through that hurt. You know what I mean? And yeah.
Like we was talking about the reason why we think, like, if you go around Bookstagram and go around BookTok and BookTube, you won't see that many self-help books, right?
Right.
But like you just said, most of those books require actual work. You can't just read it. Oh yeah, that was a cool story, and put it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of my books is like workbooks. I got actual questions in all of my books.
Yes.
And I tell people all the time, if you read my book and you didn't do the questions, you missed everything. Because forget about what I wrote. What you wrote in the questions, that's where the real gems are inside of yourself. Only you know what you got to fix, what you're not doing, what you need to be doing. Only you know. I don't know that. I'm not that brilliant. You know that.
Yes, sir.
But to look in that mirror and really, really face yourself and be accountable,
yes, sir.
That hurt. And nobody want to hurt. Just like in the gym world. You go to any given gym for like a 3-month period of time to record it, only certain people in there all the time going hard body. Everybody else just bull crapping around. I'm going to do this thing that's easy. I'm going to play with this. I'm going to do 6-minute abs. I'm going to go against surgery. I'm going to try to find this magic drink. Like, you got to do the work. You got to sweat.
You got to do the work.
Almost pass out, feel cramps, get an ice pack, get an ice tub, go to the massage therapist, and take that to get real results.
Yeah.
So the same thing with this work. You want to have this result of a person doing the real work, but you don't want to do the work. You want
and you learn something
the flavor without the labor. My mentor said you want the flavor without the labor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You want the flavor without the labor. You learn something about yourself though during that time. You realize how far you can go. You know what I mean? And that's real resilience because, you know, if you look at guys like what's his name? He run all the time. David Goggins. David Goggins. When you look at Goggins and he says things like you just don't understand how far you can go. You know what I mean? And you went to the Navy, so that's I know that's one of the things that y'all had to go through as far as like training. You know what I mean? Like training had to be. Tell us a little bit about that.
I had a whole live on this Sunday, right? You go to my page, you can check it out. I was talking about like thousands of years ago in Africa, for example. They had the rites of passage for the young men and the young women, right? You go through all these trials, go into the jungle by yourself and got to tackle some kind of animal and bring it back and skin it, whatever, right? But you're really, really showing not them, you're showing yourself, I can overcome fear. I can overcome adversity. I can figure it out, right? So the same thing with military boot camp, they strip everything from you. Got locks, right? I had locks too at one time. We're gonna shave everybody's head bald. So the thing that makes you unique, you got a fly haircut, you got locks, you got braids, you got twists, whatever make you unique, we make it all y'all the same. 250 guys, all the same. All your clothes, you got the fly gear on, take all that, strip you down naked. Who are you whenever you butt naked, strip down, everything gone? Who are you on the inside? And then build you back up. And you see in that process, some guys start crying and snotting and slobbering. Some guys want to quit. Some guys want to kill themselves. Some guys want to run away, like literally. And then some guys, they rise to the cream of the top of the cream. You know what I'm saying? So you really find out. But in today's society, everything is so gentle, and you know, use the white gloves, and everything is so whatever. That kind of weeding out process kind of like not there no more. In a lot of levels, in the classroom, if you're a coach trying to coach some guys on a sports team, in parenting, in a lot of ways that's been removed. And we wonder why so many adults right now showing you all these impulse activities, right? They're going to do school shootings. They're going to do church shootings. They're doing all this stuff just uncouth.
Yeah. And that's why
we don't like rules. We don't like discipline. We don't like none of that.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm grateful. I thank God that I came from where I came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like if I didn't learn to hustle, it'd be a lot difficult for me. Like, yeah, it may started off a little rocky, but I can almost guarantee that if I apply that hustle, you know, to something positive, something more, you know, uh, in the right direction, I will succeed. You know, I will succeed.
Let me tell you something I told my brother a few months ago in private, right? So where I come from, you know, I'm not a street guy at all. Not a street guy. I was an athlete. I was nothing, never nothing. But I realized guys like Master P. I can name multiple guys, Dame Dash, Jay-Z, all these guys that have that particular background. You learn something whenever you do bring it to the t-shirts and the merch. You bring it to the books. You bring it to doing this. You are so fearless because it's like, what's the worst case scenario?
Can
I want to
happen
go and
now,
write and
nothing can
sell a
happen
book.
at
What's
this
the
point.
worst compared to selling drugs? I want to write and sell a book. How bold could I be in my marketing? How bold could I be going to a meeting, talking to a news channel or something? If I can go out there and risk my life, taking penitentiary chances every day, I can damn sure do that.
A lot of us, sorry for cutting you off, big bro, a lot of us, you know, we're actually good at in the beginning. You know what I mean? We're naturally just like innocent souls, you know what I mean? But it be the environment that be like, you know, that'll take over your programming. So like if you live like you in the heart of the hood, you live across the street from the biggest guys, they doing everything across the street from my building. Like this is the building where it goes down. You know what I mean? So like that's all I see. And even when I don't see it, like when they not outside, because they might be outside at night, I'm opening my window. I see what's going on. They rolling dice. I see the shootouts. I go to school. The school is on the next block. So now even when, like I said, I may not see it, I'm going to school, but I'm remembering last night what happened right across the street. You know what I mean? You seeing the biggest guys stand out there with their chains on and all the influence going on with them. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because, you know, my parents kind of grew up in the same type of thing. Like, and this is just to be vulnerable, you know what I mean? Really, really, really vulnerable. One time I did a home invasion with my parents. So that shows you what kind of stuff that you know you may be dealing with but don't even understand. So like it was like, you know, nothing crazy. Nobody ran in there and hit nobody in the head or nothing, but it was just like, we gotta survive. Go in there, you the smallest, go in there, let us in, boom, boom, boom. And you know, I'm pretty sure everybody pays for what they do. I'm pretty sure my parents paid for what they did. But at the same time, it's like, you know, they not those people anymore. When I came upstate, they even had to move upstate right behind me because my little brother got caught in the indictment. So we always trying to show him is another life. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, and it gets there. You know what I mean?
And look at the flip side to the conversation, right? As far as what we're doing right now. I always tell people, like, it's so difficult for us right now because whenever I go to the school and talk to 1,000 kids, right?
Yes.
Those kids are seeing when they go outside the guys with the cars, with the rims, and the music, and the Jordans every day, and whatever the chain is, and whatever the girl is. Like, I don't have those things. I'm a regular, go to work dad. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So you competing against that and trying to make this attractive to those minds. When
Yes.
everything on their YouTube, everything on their TikTok, everything on their Snapchat is this wildness. We're trying to show them a different way and a better way. And no, look, you can live like this. You can talk like this, dress like this, act like this versus that. And that's a
Yes,
hard
sir.
thing to do because, like we said before, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Lil Baby, Da Baby, you name a person, they have more power than Joe Biden, the
Right.
president.
Yeah.
They
They do.
have more
They
power than Al Sharpton or any other news pundit, right?
yeah.
Any pastor, teacher, they got more power than them.
Yeah.
So we're trying to show you the positive light side in a materialistic world. That's difficult.
It's because you got to think about it. All of the cool things come from that so-called lifestyle, right? So when you could see somebody still cool, still living their life, and they able to articulate it different in a different space, it shows them that I don't have to be just like this in order to, you know, be myself or do the things that I like to do. You know what I mean? Because it's nothing wrong with chains or, you know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with any of that. It's just more so like you got to think about it.
How you go about acquiring it? How you get it, right?
Right.
How you get it? Now, if I sell 200 books, and now me and my wife go on a cruise somewhere on a trip, and I'm showing you, man, look where we at, look what we doing. That's through legal tender. You know what I'm saying? Legal means. I ain't hurt nobody to do it.
Right.
I'm showing you can still do it. It's just how you go about doing it. I can sleep
and
at
it's
night.
it's actually hard.
Ain't no jackboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's easy, but it's actually harder because you got to think, you know, do I want the easy way out? Let me just pick some up and sell it. Or do I just really put my mind to something? You know what I mean? And make something mine and make a product that's mine as opposed to going out there and hurting people, man. That's crazy. What app you use most on your phone?
You said what app?
Yeah.
Probably YouTube be number one. If I have my little statistics up, it'll probably be YouTube then Instagram, because I told my homegirl this earlier today. For the past about 13, 14 years, I pretty much live on YouTube, right? Like I just started watching TV heavy the past couple years, but like for a long time, I wouldn't even watch TV. I got YouTube going 24/7. I'm playing Les Brown, Eric Thomas, Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, like the who's who. I'm playing that on a loop, 24/7, trying to inundate myself, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm watching documentaries. I'm watching Animal Planet. I'm watching science.
Yes, sir.
I'm watching information and knowledge on our people.
Yes, sir.
I'm spending years just on that. So even in the car driving, I probably barely play music in the car when I'm driving. I'm playing podcasts and lectures and panels and symposiums. Like, I really try to brainwash myself.
You know,
right?
and this is why I think we met for a reason, big bro, because the frequency, right? Most of my people think I'm weird. They think I'm weird now. They be like, oh man, he's listening to this guy again. Or you know what I mean? Or he's watching this again. Like, it's because like Reed with Dr. Wave just wrote, you have to reprogram yourself. You know what I mean? You got to give yourself the proper brainwashing. So you got to wash most of that stuff that's in your brain out, right?
Bro.
So if I just pick up another, or if I just listen to music while I'm moving and I'm driving, that stuff is going in my mind. It's going in there. And the fact that it's going in there, it's like you don't know what seed that is that's growing from you just listening to music. You know what I mean? So for me, I could ride around and listen to an audio book and just be like, man, oh man. And this is like right now we're on the show, we're reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, but I'm listening to the audio. I read the book before, but this is me going back through it. I read the book before, and it's just like, you know, the part where the guy and his son, you know, he scolded his son, and he's like, he got to a point where he said, I'm sorry, you know, he talked to his son while he was sleeping. He said, I apologize. You know, I know you won't understand this while you're up, but I just want to speak to you while you're laying down, and I promise tomorrow is going to be different. I realize that you're just a boy. You're just a boy, and I'm speaking to you a certain type of way when you only been here but so many years on earth. And that stuff touch here. You get what I'm saying? It touches right here. And you say, you know what? I got kids. Why would I use what I'm already programmed to do? I'm already programmed to scream at him if he do something. Let me try to sit there and understand what's the reason he's doing that. He's just a kid. He's just a kid. So I'm the one that gotta understand that as opposed to him. You know what I mean? And I'll step back and look at it from a different lens. You know what I mean?
You know, I was talking to somebody earlier this morning about, like, I taught adolescent psychology at the college level. I taught child psychology at the college level. And within teaching that, you really see how delicate parenting is. Because so many adults have unaddressed childhood trauma that they haven't gone to therapy for. They're not getting what they need about that. And they're trying to start relationships, carrying this. They're trying to parent their own kids, carrying this.
Right.
So as a parent, what they say about it's easier to build young boys than to repair broken men, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to make sure as much as I can that I'm being fragile with my kids. Like, my daughter do something at school, the school calls, she did this and that. I'm not going to be screaming and hollering and trying to wild out. Let's talk about, why did you think in that moment that this choice was the correct choice? Let's talk about your thought process. Let's rewire what you was thinking, and let's break down why that can't happen anymore.
Yes.
And the consequences to that kind of thinking. I think that's far more a better result versus me beating your ass right quick, and then you ain't learn nothing.
Yeah. They wonder why these kids out here hurting other people and shooting. Yeah. These kids are shooting and hurting other people because that's taught behavior. It's taught that if you're not going to get in line with what I say, or you don't do what I tell you to do, then I got to hurt you. You know what I mean?
Force, right? Yeah. So I want to address something real quick. The sister said something about reprogramming yourself, right? I tell the story all the time. People always think that I was a nerd in school making principal lists and all that. That's not my story. I was a typical young black male in the 90s, 80s and the 90s. I wanted to play basketball more than anything. I didn't care about school. I didn't care about reading. I didn't care about grades, none of that. I'm worried about that basketball, that's it, right? But I spent years doing that in my life. Years, since I was a little boy into my adulthood, me and that basketball, right? And then, of course, hip-hop music, the hip-hop movies, all that. I'm brainwashed with that my whole life. So in my 20s on, I'm trying to undo all of that, and now I'm just playing night and day, all this stuff, trying to flush it out.
Yes,
and re-energize myself with a better message in a better way. That's what that was.
Sir. It's more about. Yeah, it's more intent. It's more intent. Intentions is good. You know, it's better than just letting the boat just go free, right? You setting a intention. You know how many miles we going. You know, we doing good already. What is something that you passionate about?
Bro,
some things.
Tell me
about some things.
I'm known to be a super passionate person, right? I got sometimes like break it back more than anything, but like when it comes to me, I'm passionate about our people, that being people of color, learning our history and learning what's been systematically done to us over hundreds of years that we have to go about undoing slowly but surely. I'm passionate about getting that message out and making it in a digestible, attractive format. I call it edutainment, right? Because people love to be entertained more than educated. Yeah. Our job on this live, all of us in this room, our job is to make this attractive to these people. Yeah. That being kids and adults, not just kids and adults, right? Yeah. So I'm passionate about figuring that out. Passionate. I've been 15, 16 years doing this. Before they had IG and before they had Facebook, I've been doing this in my own way. Now the cameras here coming to the room, but I've been doing this. If they pull a plug on all this stuff, I'm still up all night doing this. I'm still going to local schools, local parks, local whatever, getting my word out. Whether IG here or not, this is what I do. This is my life work. It's all I care about. Yes, sir. All I dream about. All I think about is working on getting better at this. This is my craft. Yes, sir. And it takes 10,000 hours to master a craft. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, sir. That's my main driving force, bro. Yes, sir.
Do you believe in having a 5-year plan?
I believe in having a 5-year plan, yes. Do I believe in being flexible and adjusting with that? Even more so. I'm a big sport guy, right? So I love sport analogies. The Alabama Roll Tide, the Crimson Tide, the football team, right? They always win the national championships. And Floyd Mayweather, the boxer, undefeated, right? Both of those dynasties, I've heard both of them say, the plan I had for that night didn't work. It never works. Plan A rarely ever works. The adjustments that we made over the course of the game, that's how we got the championship. So that means most times we got a 5-year plan, we got all these projections, and we did a vision board party, and, you know, we did our mantras and all that stuff. Things are going to happen. Life's going to happen. They say life be lifing. Somebody going to die. Somebody going to get sick in your family. You might get sick yourself. The pandemic showed that. And everything get derailed, then what? You got to be able to make the proper adjustments. Adjust, adapt, overcome. We're not in the military. Adjust, adapt, overcome. That's the main thing. That's more important than a 5-year plan to me.
Mm-hmm. We have a question. It said, can you speak on how black men can build good support groups of black men? Right? I personally believe that we can. Right? Of course, I believe that we can. I believe that we should find what we're all good at and come bring that to the table, because if one person wants to be the best at everything, you can't, it doesn't make sense, right? And I just actually seen that with Dame Dash and 19 Keys, but it just makes sense, right? Because you got to think about it. If I come with something that I'm good at, you come with something that you're good at, you may fill up the space that I can't do, you know? And just knowing that we need more groups of black men supporting each other is where we got to take it, right? We have to form like these networking events, you know what I mean? We have to network more. And we got to keep reading and learning these skills, because truth be told, a lot of us are set back because of our visions on what we think things can go, right? So you may think, like, I remember for a long time, it's been black men see each other, y'all looking at each other funny. It shouldn't be in that. You like once we clean our mind out, you can actually be able to go about those positive endings. You know what I mean? Oh man, this is a good brother. Let me let's link. Let's do something. You know what I mean? Let's see what we can do in the future. Let's hit each other just to say how you doing. You know what I mean? That's a good point. ET talks about bringing different talents together as well. Yeah, I love ET, man. ET is amazing. Yeah, ET is amazing.
Yeah, shout out to Resist Books. Shout out to my man Demetrius Frazier, Resist Books. He is the head honcho of Black Men Reading. I've been a part of that book club for years now. I lost count of the years, right? But to answer his question, I think the more we're doing stuff like this, and people are seeing two new to each other black men, we just met days ago, and we're going live together, we're interchanging together. You're going to be on my platform next, a black man with books.
Yes,
other guys coming together, Reggie and Achille, what they do. The more the community at large is seeing black men come together and not be adversarial to each other, not be disrespectful, not be combative to each other, and we're doing things together over time. I think that will build more and more support groups where other black men say, you know what, I'm going to holler at you on the side and address some problems, right? I'm going to address some things. I need some therapy. I need some help with my relationship. I need help with my children. The more we're vulnerable about our relationships and our families and our parenting, more guys feel confident to inbox us later in private, like, man, you know, me and my son going through this. You know, me and my wife going through that. I counsel a lot of people in private, more than you would ever know. I counsel and mentor a lot of folks in private, where it should be. But they feel comfortable, thank God, they feel comfortable coming to me with these vulnerable topics. I think the more that we're doing this, you have more of a network of that. And you and I talked in private, we'll mention it later on, I guess, about having a collective of men doing an event together, you know, online, you know, the Extraordinary Gentlemen, we come together to talk about literacy and being positive for the community, doing things for the young men, talk more about things like that. I think that would be a good platform to start some support groups for young men, bro. We need it.
And to speak on topics like you said, fatherhood, you know, being a husband. To speak on those topics and have actual solutions and actions, that's amazing, because that'll keep us in a space of learning, you know what I mean? In a space of a safe space to just be like, you know what? I know that, you know, we can speak on these type of things, you know what I mean? And not be ashamed or afraid, you know. That's needed for sure.
I say this all the time in private, and I probably get killed for it, but I don't care, right? I talk about, like, back in the old days whenever everybody went to church of some sort. I don't care what you believe in. But the point is, whenever you are part of these institutions, the women had women's class. And the women are hearing from the OG ladies how to maintain a household, how to be a wife, how to be a mother, how to maintain certain things. The guys have men's class. If you're in the Nation of Islam, they got the Food of Islam for the guys. You learn how to be a daddy, how to be a husband, how to take care of the household, how to do certain things. But, like, more so in recent times, the people that actually get involved in the institution has been reduced. So people out there just, they don't have any OGs to speak into their life.
Right.
They don't have that men's class where the OG telling them how to be a daddy. You're a daddy. Figuring it out. How to be a husband. You're just a husband with your wife, both of y'all bickering, and nobody giving you no kind of ways to go about it in a better way. They've been married 20, 30, 40 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's been reduced. We got to have more of those pockets of space.
Yes, sir.
You know?
We gotta have those uncomfortable topics. Those got to be safe. We got to feel safe to speak about those, because a lot of us are dealing with things sometimes. Like, you can get some regular advice on some things, but what about the advice that you need on something that's, you know, really a situation, you know, and be able to speak about it.
Yeah. And not feel judged. That's where the love comes from. If I know my brother love me, I feel more comfortable telling you this, because you're not gonna throw it back in my face. You're not gonna put it out in the public. You're not gonna post about it. You're not gonna tell somebody else. Like, it's staying right here, man. You can tell me this. We can cry. Whatever we got to do to get better, we can do that. And we got to do it more in our individual communities as a collective. We got to have those times where we got spots like that. And my barbershop is here in the area. On Sundays, we all get together. We all bring some food. We cook some food, bring a dish. And we all got a big old round table. They sit at the table. They got the OGs there, the high school guys there, the young kids there.
Yes, sir.
You got transgeneration talking about various topics of what they're going through. Everybody picking you up. Everybody giving you the hug you need, the pat on the back. That camaraderie got to be there some kind of way.
We also need
more bravery, man.
We need more bravery. We need a lot of us to understand that you don't have to be scared for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we still got fears. I wrote my fears down the other day. I think I was telling you. I wrote my fears down the other day. And what was on the opposite of the fear is the one that I should be focused on. You know what I'm saying? So if the fear is, let's say, spending money, the opposite of spending money should be finding a way to make, you know, more, saving, investing, you know, and not to sound like just anybody that's out here talking about investing and credit like that, but that's the opposite of you spending money, right? The opposite of you spending money is knowing how to create more money, right? Grant Cardone said nobody has a spending problem. They have a financial income problem. So that's amazing too. You know what I mean? I just seen Resist Books wrote Married on Paper, but not Partners on Love at All. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Yeah. For a situation like that, right? I don't know if everybody's seen or watches Mike Todd, Relationship Goals.
Yeah, I love him.
I got both of the books, and I would recommend those books. I would recommend those books for this type of situation, as far as like just trying to find love, because you got to pray together. You know, it has to be even down to like where you just including your wife, you know what I mean, in a lot of things, you know what I mean, because we can all get lost in our own life, you know what I mean, and I understand that, you know, you born here alone, you die alone, I understand that, but what you do in the meantime, in between time, is definitely matters, you know what I mean, it definitely matters.
And back to the brainwashing, right, at my barbershop as well, some barbershops play, you know, sport games and they play movies or whatever they play on the big screen, right? every time I go for a haircut, he playing Michael Ty on the TV. Every time I go for a haircut. And we both sitting there watching the way he cutting me up, hearing the verses, and we both discussing the verses or discussing the topic amongst us. Like, that might be some of the only church some people get is that 30, 40 minutes in the shop. But you got something to take home and bring back to your house and to improve upon, you know? So I think that's important once again when it comes to inundating yourself, right?
And if you look at Mike Todd, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
So he's making it seem like he's not making it seem like, let me fix my words. He's actually showing you that you can be cool and go to church. You know what I mean? So
that's what I'm saying.
There was no restraint on you being a professional person and you have to wear a suit.
No.
Wearing suits are essential though. It looks good. You know, it definitely makes you feel good also. But you don't have to do that in order for you to be, you know, a lot of people get misconstrued too that everybody that made it to the top is smart. Man, sometimes you got to have a boss that's like, and you like, how did this person get to that position? And it's like, he's not even that smart. It's just the actions that he may have took or putting himself in a place of wanting to learn it, right? When you seek, you shall find.
Let me tell you about meeting people where they are, right? Whenever I get a call to come talk to the high school, like just last week, come talk to the high school kids, I'm not going there with a suit and tie on with the hard bottom shoes. I'm not going there like that. Because in their life, they've seen so many guys like that. So the minute they see me, they're already tuning me out. Like, oh, man, it's about to be. I go there on with something that they can identify with. Like, let me see what he talking about. And then the way I'm talking to them, the energy I have, the body language, the movements, the images I'm showing you on these slides, the way I'm connecting with you, it's like, wow.
Yes, sir.
And that's our job as far as us being information givers. We got to stop being in that old little paradigm of like, nah, man, Nas is smart as hell. Nas smart, Jay-Z smart, Black Thought. I can name a bunch of guys. When you hear them talk, you know they're well-read guys.
Yes.
But they don't look like freaking Poindexter. You know what I'm saying? These guys are brilliant no matter what they're wearing. It's how you go about doing it.
Yeah. Don't worry about what you're wearing. Take action on what you got, right? Because what God gave you, you should use, right? He already gave you the tools. So you have so much that you can do, right? Like, that's like writing a book. You realize $1 million idea, not saying that it's just for the money, but you realize $1 million idea, hold on, I can be great by writing a book. All that takes is a pencil and a paper. So use what you got. You don't have to be in the most perfect setting. You don't have to be in the most, oh, I'll wait till I'll get this to do that. Start doing it now, because when you get that vision, what happens is if you don't, let's say, write it down on paper, or you don't have it somewhere where you will remember, and I fall guilty of this sometimes too. 90% of us may have ideas that we don't get to act on because it's like you done forgot it. And it wasn't, when you get the vision, it's not as bright as it was the first day, a few days later. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And to further make my point, look at Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas is the #2 speaker in the world behind Tony Robbins, right? But even look at Tony Robbins, both of those guys. You YouTube those guys, they're talking to Fortune 500 companies. The boy wearing T-shirts, sweatpants, he wearing a fitted cap, he wearing a hoodie, he wearing Jordans, addressing Fortune 500 companies. Because that's his brand. That's who he is. When you see it, you know what it is. So we got to all establish that for ourselves. Stop trying to be cookie cutter. Who are you really at your essence? And amplify that, right?
Yes, sir. How much are you planning to read this year?
You know what? That's a great funny question. To say I read so much, I never ever have reading goals. I really just go with the flow.
Yes, sir.
I never set 100 books and 50 books. Like, I never do that. I don't even count. Yes, I can't. What I read last year, I can't even tell you. Now in my Kindle, the Kindle has a little way they keep track of things. But of course, I read things outside of Kindle, so that's not even an accurate count of what I actually read the whole year. That's just what I read in Kindle, right? So I mean, I never know. I'm just a certain time cross my mind. I'm gonna find that book. I'm gonna just read it.
Yes, sir.
Now, watch something on TV and that catch my attention, I'm gonna find the book and I'm gonna read it. I'm in Black Mirror reading group. They're reading a certain book this month. If I can participate, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna read it. I'm doing the Black Reconstruction, the whole buddy read thing. So I'm gonna read that because I'm a part of that. But like, I never have a real set in stone plan. You know, I don't do it like that. That's just me though.
Yes, sir. Would you rather read 100 books this year, or never be allowed to read again, or read one book per year and you read forever?
That's a crazy question. I would say one book per year and read forever. Because for an example, Robert Greene book called Mastery, I probably read Mastery like 6 times. It's a book that is so much in there, it takes going through it over and over to get all the nuggets out of it. I could imagine reading that particular book for a long time and still trying to extract. He put so much in there to be used, right?
Right. Yeah, like Bob Proctor, he always talks about how he reads Think and Grow Rich. He said it's been 20 years, it's been 40 years, and I'm still reading this book. I believe the power
I admire that.
In that. Yes,
I
sir.
admire it.
Yes, sir.
I admire it.
And I'm going to take that advice, because if somebody has the results that you want to take that advice. You want to take that advice.
Look, I got a homeboy named Quincy, phenomenal brother. He's the only person I know, every time I see him in person, he's carrying Napoleon Hill, is the 16 lessons or something like that, the 16 laws, whatever the book is.
Yeah.
He carried the book around like a person carried the Bible. He carries that one book for years. So some of the books on Bookstagram want to brag. I read 250 books. I read 75 books, whatever. I never saw a person carry one book and really like going through it, fine tooth comb. Like I find that more amazing than a person reading.
But that may work for them, you know. But I definitely get the guy that reads, because The Feeling Is the Secret by Earl Nightingale. I listen to that. And I read that. I open the book and I leave it on this one page, and I have to read it like every day. You know what I mean? Like, it's next to me in the car before I go do my little ride share, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, and the one part that I always read is the fact that he says, whether you plant corn or you plant nightshade, the earth is automatically gonna grow those two things beautifully. Nightshade is a poison, corn is a vegetable. So you got to think, what are you putting in your mind? Are you putting positive or are you putting negative? And that's the part that I have to keep reminding myself, like, you know what? You know, there will be better outcomes. There will be, but I have to take what I learned already and replace it with new crops. You know what I mean? I got to replace it with new crops.
At this point in our life, it's about unlearning.
Yeah.
It's the harder part. Unlearning. That's tough. So many of us have been conditioned from our families and whatever your family religion was and whatever your culture around you was, and it's unlearning all of that. That's years of a journey within itself.
Yes, sir.
Very uncomfortable stuff, like we said earlier. It's very, very uncomfortable, but you have to do it.
What I like most about this stuff is it's not some information that I said I came up with. Like, Earth was here before me. You know what I mean? So I believe when I write my end book, like at the end, because the books that I've been writing, they've been like fiction, you know what I mean? It's based around like a story. I may have put a few together, you know what I mean? So that's different. But when I write my biography, it's gonna be, and I can see the end goal, I'm gonna do something to where somebody is going to extract from that, and that's gonna be their Think and Grow Rich, or that's gonna be their power of the subconscious mind. You know what I mean? Because
That's hot.
study this stuff like Bob Proctor, and it's like, you know, if Lord gives me the years, but I study this stuff because I think the mind, period, once you study the mind, everything else should be, you know what I mean? It should be easier for you. You know what I mean? I like mind stuff. Like, that's the stuff that I'm on. That's why self-help is always my genre.
Let me ask you a question that came up last week, right? It come up multiple times, but last week in particular. What do you say to a person that says, well, I only want to read black books from black people. I don't want to read Bob Proctor, Napoleon Hill, Dale Carnegie. I don't want to read Tony Robbins. Like, they feel like they can't use those concepts because they're not a white person. What do you say to that particular rebuttal?
I mean, I understand the struggle of what it is to be a black man, obviously, right? Like, obviously. But Bob Proctor even says that it doesn't matter if you got a black, if you're a black balloon or a white balloon. It matters what's on the inside of the balloon for you to float. So for me, I just take away the race card. Am I with my people? Of course I'm with my people for whatever it is that we're going through. But I'd rather pro-peace as opposed to anti-war. Because anti-war would mean we're doing the same things, and believe it or not, you know what I mean? Like I said, there's no pushover in me. You're not gonna push me over, but I feel like E.T., right? And this, I said this in my last interview. E.T. is a very outspoken black man, very outspoken. Tupac was another very outspoken black man, right? But what Tupac was speaking about was anti-war. What E.T. is speaking is pro ambition, pro motivation, pro peace, pro thinking, right? He's speaking on things that's like, you don't even have to get into none of that mess. You know what I mean? Like and his life was crazy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's very, I would go more with E.T. and where he's trying to take it, as opposed to going with Tupac the way he's trying to take it. I understand Tupac, though. I understand. I come from that way of thinking, but it's all a way of thinking, right? That's like nobody's wrong, nobody's right. We all here for a human experience.
It's subjective, right? But what I said to that particular question about that, for your audience, these guys are giving universal concepts. Universal means it doesn't matter if you Asian, Arabic, white, black, whatever. These particular concepts, they're laws. Laws transcend everything. If you use these principles, it's bound to yield a certain particular result.
I love what Bookish Black Girl wrote. I love what she wrote. She said, I think you have to understand the motive behind why one has made the decision to read only black books. I think the answers will vary. That's exactly what I mean right there. It has to be somebody, it has to be something that they feel strong about in order to get to that point, right? That's like, nobody's wrong, nobody's right. I can't tell you, if you tell me your favorite basketball player is Wilt Chamberlain, and I tell you mine is Kyrie. It's all based on what you've seen, how you internalized it, and what you want to project out of that you took in.
Let me tell you this, right? When it comes to my thinking, I'm a very results-driven person.
Yes, sir.
I don't care how you did it. The end result is what I want, right? Yeah. I don't care if a yellow person came down from Mars with these bars. If it's all fact-checked, all the data and the stats and the numbers add up, I want to use it.
Yes,
I don't care if he's orange, lime green, purple. I'm not so caught up on it got to be a black person saying it to where I'm going to ignore good information just to find some black information. Like, that's so in the box thinking to me. You know what I'm saying?
Me, I can say that that's something that that's not a way that I operate, right? But like I said, when I wanted to read Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter by 50 Cent, it was something that attached to me. So it has to be something that attached people exactly to that matter to say, this is all I want to do is read, you know what I mean? And that's like buying black. I get the concept of it. I do. But at some point, everybody's not racist. At some point, you'll have some white people that'll go with the cause as opposed to some black people that's gonna go with the cause. You get what I'm saying? So you'll have some black people that'll be like, yo, I'll keep killing my brother, as opposed to a white guy saying, why you doing that? You know what I mean? And not just white, Asian, Latino, you know what I mean? So I can't really be the one to save the world. You know what I mean? I can't save the world. Like, I'm not here to save the world, but I'm here to help with the agenda that I may feel, you know, can help somebody. It's all in good faith. It's all in positivity.
Yeah, sure. You live in a cold place being in New York, so you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
I've had multiple outside jobs. Like whenever it's freezing cold, I got to be out there all day.
Yeah.
So I just want a good quality hoodie. I want a good quality jacket, right? So, I want a quality jacket. So whenever I go out there, I'm protected from the elements, right? I don't care if that's you put an afro on the jacket, or it's an Under Armour jacket, or whatever kind of jacket. I just want a good quality jacket.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna be so stuck on, man. I gotta find a perfect black company that make a jacket to go to work. Like, but that's crazy. In a real situation, not just for fashion, that's cool. But in a real situation, I'm going to find what works. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how I try to operate on all fronts, you know?
Yeah, I like Jim Rohn, right? Jim Rohn said, it's certain things that, like, we shouldn't worry about that I feel. Like Jim Rohn said, they asked him, how do you think the next 50 years is going to be? He said, I think the next 50 years is going to be exactly the same as the last, right? The sun is going to come up. The sun is going, the moon is going to come up that night. So it's like certain ways of thinking. It's like, I'm not even getting into that. You know what I mean? But I'm always down to ride with my people. I just feel like we need to be pushing more. Like, we can't play victim no more. We can't play victim no more. The whole victim mindset is like, bro, we got all the information, right? So let's find solutions. Let's find solutions. Let's not talk about complaint. You know what I mean? Let's not talk about complaints. Let's be solution based.
And what Resist book said down there earlier about finding more black men to have support groups, that's where it starts. Because if I don't trust you, I can't put money together with you. Talk about starting a business and starting an outreach program and if I don't even trust you, I can't even do none of that. So we have $1 trillion spending power, $1 trillion. We don't trust each other. I don't trust you.
Man, $1 trillion spending power is so much money.
Going somewhere else.
Yeah, that's so much money that we don't even understand that we have $1 trillion spending problem. And that's the thing. It's like, do we? Man, we need just the people that's in power that can reach more people.
Right.
I feel they should do more. Like even the rappers, the Jay-Z's,
we see all these communities, right? In most predominantly black cities, I live in one. Most of the store owners look like somebody else.
That's a fact.
Like they're the mathematical minority in the city, but they own all the little gas stations, the little Chinese rice spots,
for sure.
All the little, go in there and get your little hair products and all that. The typical hood spots. Yeah, it's not owned by us.
You're right.
But a predominantly black city.
Yeah.
So when it comes time to vote, you don't see a person that look like us win the election in a predominantly black city. It makes no mathematical sense.
And that's crazy. The part. Yeah, that's the part where I think That's the part where I think
No
solution has to
mathematical
come
shit.
in, because we just can't play victim and say, oh well, why they got this and why they got that. Now we got to get smarter. We got to get smarter, and we got to be the ones to create new things and do new things. And
that's what was this book, Demetrius Fraser. He's big on. I noticed lately talking about the actions, the going to the town hall meetings, going to the school board meetings, going to the state capitol, going lobbies, going, you know what I'm saying, be active. We can read all these books that we want. What you gonna do with it? You read 300 books last year, then what? I don't want to feel like that. Like, man, Sean got all these books. And what you really shaking and moving?
right.
That's the next step. The first step is getting information, but the next step, how you actually apply it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? The man that can't read and the man that don't read in the same boat, right?
Yes, sir. Ooh. Man, that's sauce right there. That's so much sauce right there.
I didn't make that up. I didn't make that up. That's not me. That's not me.
Amazing. That's amazing sauce, man. That it was able to travel through you. You know what I mean? And it just makes us think, man. And that's what I like about this whole thing, man. It makes us think. Do you prefer classic or modern books?
Say it again.
Do you prefer classic or modern books?
Man, classics.
Mm-hmm.
The classics. My Amazon wish list, if you can see it, I can't buy most of those books. I'll be going somewhere different with this $1 trillion spending power. I can't buy most of the books because they're out of print.
Right.
So the books cost $1,600, $5,000, $700, because it's a very rare print or they're out of print.
Mm-hmm.
So we need more of us to actually own black press, to press up these books, to put them back in circulation to where they can be more accessible, right? So a lot of our OG scholars put down a lot of information, 1800s, early 1900s, all that time frame is all this amazing work that we need more access to, because I want to see what they were talking about. Because like Jim Rome said, the world 50 years from now and the world 50 years ago is not that different. So the OGs, look, we're trying to reinvent the wheel of what to do for the community. They told us 100-some years ago what to do. We just got to follow the format. They gave us actual blueprints, like step by step, what to do for the community. And our parents couldn't do it. Our grandparents couldn't do it. Maybe we can do it.
I think we need more bravery. We need more action. We need more creativity. More creativity.
Luckily for us, like Dr. Naeem Akbar said, we are the most degree people in the world. We got the most PhDs and the most master degrees. We got all that stuff more than our ancestors probably did, right? We got more access with technology now than our ancestors did. A lot more of us are CEOs and business owners than back in the day. So we have some advantages that they didn't have. Maybe we can use some of these plays they gave. We can run the play.
Yes, sir.
And get better results. More of us in Congress, more of us are judges and lawyers, and more of us in certain positions now that wasn't as prevalent back then, you know?
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sean P, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, man, this right here is crazy, man. We're gonna have to do this again. I think we need to do this like every month.
You coming on mine?
Every 2 weeks or something, you know what I mean? Because I think we talking action talk now, you know what I mean? We talking action talk, we talking application, you know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
And it's a kind of thing, you ain't got to answer if you don't want to, you ain't got to answer it, right? Have you ever gone to your state capital?
I mean, I'm in upstate New York, Rome, New York.
Yes, sir.
So I have not been, and the state capital would be in New York, period. You know what I mean? But nah, I haven't. Even when I was down in the city. Too institutionalized, man. Too institutionalized on a street level.
And guess what?
Guess what?
Like Jim Rome said in the beginning of this whole thing, with the Jim Rome video, it's free. There was no
the girl
entry
that we
fee.
had on the other
It's
day,
free.
she told me she'd been to the Federal Reserve Building.
Free.
I've
Free.
never been to the
Just
Federal
walk
Reserve
in.
Building the other day.
Walk in.
Huh?
Go through the little scanner. Walk in. Have at it.
Mm.
I think all of us in our individual states we living in, anybody watching this, go to your state capital just one day. Look at how they actually lobbying for bills and how they actually, you know, vetoing certain things, they yaying and naying and how they doing it, and see how the actual process works. It's very, very interesting, bro. But I know that the average everyday person has not taken the time
That's a fact.
to go to their individual state capital.
That's a fact.
So, you know,
He said, "Have you been to your county jail?" Not to visit.
I
You know
have.
what I mean? And I've actually,
If
I
I
haven't.
was speaking, I wasn't in. I was speaking.
Yeah. I've not been to my county jail. Thank God. You know what I mean? But like you said, to flip it around to go speak or to go, you know what I mean? That's something that I would like to incorporate. You know what I mean? I still feel like I need to do some more. I just got to tap in a little bit more. You know, I may not feel like I'm there yet, but like we need more bravery. We need more bravery. We need more to speak out on because
Out the box thinking.
Yeah.
Nobody on the weekend telling their homeboys like, man, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to the state capitol, watching the football game, eating the food, just chilling, drinking the beers, smoking the cigars. Nobody saying, man, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to the state capitol.
Yeah.
And then a homeboy can say, man, for real, I'm coming with you. It's not even talking.
My last guest on the show, her name was Shamba. She at Miss Bossy One. She was even talking about how she'd been to the Federal Reserve Building when she was younger, right? And that's learning how to that's learning where they printing money and everything. Like a lot of us, that's crazy because I've never been to the Federal Reserve Building in my life.
Yeah, but just think about how many nuanced parts of our lives we've never actually seen the process.
And you want to know something? No, you don't get.
You see all the polls, right?
Yeah.
And then the results. You don't see the in between. You don't see none of that.
Yeah. And this conversation is essential because you can't get anything you haven't heard. You can't see anything that you haven't heard. You know what I mean? So if I haven't heard about it, it's 9 times out of 10 I'm not gonna see it. You get what I'm saying? So you got to be in a space where people are talking about these things to actually say, you know what? Let me go to the state building. You know what I mean? Let me see what the Federal Reserve looks like. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you what my actual goal is this year. You asked about reading goals. I don't have a number, but every year I have a theme, right? A topic. So this year I want to learn more about like policing and prison industrial complex and mass incarceration. I want to learn more about that this year. So that's my particular point of focus. You know what I'm saying?
And that's me. That's me. Because the topics itself get you in a different type of. It's what you're hearing, man. You're gonna find something new in there. You know what I mean?
And talking to actual police officers, like my job at the hospital, I'm around state troopers all the time. I'm around sheriffs. I'm around cops. So like, to be able to pull them on the side and pull their ear a little bit, and have rapport with them, to have a real conversation about certain things, and get the fact versus the fiction. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Sean, man, your energy is dope, man. I like your thinking, man, for real. You know what I mean? And I'm learning a lot from this whole interview. You know what I mean? This whole
what it is? It's just being curious.
Yeah.
I always challenge adults. At a certain point, being an adult, you stop being curious. You figure you know everything. You figure you got it all in the bag. It's just going back to childlike curiosity. I'm curious about jails. I'm going to ask the cop. I'm going to ask the correctional officer. I'm going to ask the chief of police. I'm going to ask, you know what I'm saying? It's just you start going down a rabbit hole. It's just, it unfolds, you know?
Yeah, one thing I wanted to practice too is to give everybody an interview. Like even when I just see them, like I see them. Hey, how's it going, bro? Just have a whole bunch of questions for them, because life is our best teacher. You know what I mean? And that was something I was down. I'm like, I wouldn't have to wait for a physical interview for me to get on an interview. Let me practice this stuff on a regular basis with the lady sitting next to me on the. You know what I mean? On the train or bus or when I'm driving, I stop, I pull over, I go in the store. Let me ask.
Yo, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you right quick, right? The best job I had in my life about 6 years ago. I had a job at a rehab center, like Narcotics Anonymous, Alcohol Anonymous, whatever,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And all the patients were there for 30 days
Mm.
from all over the country. They fly down to come to this rehab place. I got 12 hours per night to pick their brain. I'm meeting Harvard graduates. I'm meeting Yale graduates. I met this one black guy, older dude. Dude got like 8 degrees.
Mm.
So I'm just picking their brain all night. I met a guy from the UK, a brother from the UK. We chop it up all night. I'm meeting like people that was on TV, like chefs, master chefs. I'm meeting people from all kind of walks of life, just giving me game, right? So then I did the first book. Look what I would do. Per chapter, I did an actual speech to the people per chapter to see how it hit, resonate with them. Because you got different, once again, you got different races, different backgrounds, different whatever.
Yep.
If my message is universal to hit all of them, I'm on the right track with my writing.
Yeah. And
All
you
y'all
may
can feel what I'm
not
saying.
you may not at the time think that you understand everything that's coming through, but you putting it in here. You know what I mean? And man, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing. Sean P, man. Shit. I do this thing called 5 for 5, man. It's like Wendy's. You know how they do the 4 for 4, man. So if you could give us your top 5 books, I'm gonna give you 5 questions. Just give me 5 answers. You can give me your top 5 books. What's your top 5 books, big bro?
Oh, yeah, for a little bit. Here we go. I'm going to go When the World Was Black. I'm going to go Science of Self. I'm going to go Mastery. I'm going to go 48 Laws of Power. I'm going to go Malcolm X.
Top 5 superheroes.
Superheroes. I'm going to go Iron Man. I'm going to go Thor. I'm going to go Black Panther. I'm going to go Batman. I'm going to go the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut wasn't a superhero, but I got you. Top 5 most influential people.
Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Malcolm X. Huey P. Newton. Angela Davis. Tupac Shakur. My grandfather.
Top 5 places to eat.
Now you just stomp me. Now you just stomp me, right? I love Italian food, right? So every year for my birthday, there's a spot called Carrabba's. I don't know if you got it where you at. Amazing Italian food. Carrabba's. I love Carrabba's. It's a 5-star steakhouse here called Mr. Lester's. I love that. I love Ruth Chris, of course. Then I love TGI Fridays. I love a spot like that. And of course, you got to go with the all-time Southern classic Waffle House. Got to get that in there. The 2 in the morning, Waffle House get up. After the club, you know.
Let's go. Top 5 movies.
Movies, man. These are good questions, bro. Good questions. Top 5 movies. I'm gonna go Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, Life.
Oh, man, that's dope.
I'm gonna go Life. I'm gonna go Above the Rim. I'm a basketball here. Above the Rim. I'm gonna go Rocky 4 with Drago. Rocky 4. Malcolm X.
Let's go.
Malcolm X. Man, number 5. Because of the influence, that first Black Panther. The first one. The first one. Not the second one, but the first one.
Let's go. Bro, you answered those questions the way I picture people to answer them. Usually they take a countless amount of time, but it's all good though. I respect that. But it's supposed to be 5 for 5, on point. You know what I mean? But
I got you.
That's dope, man. And shout outs to Read with Dr. Wade. Shout out to Bookish Black Girl. To each her own for connecting us together.
Yes, my people.
Shout outs to everybody that was on the live.
It was lit.
Resist Books. You know what I mean? Shout outs to Black Men with Books. Shout outs to everybody that was on the live, man. We definitely, I made this sit down a lot more, appreciative because we actually had the interaction. You know what I mean? Everybody that joined. Shout out to everybody that joined. Billy Nicole, I seen her. She joined early in the interview. Anything else you want to ask me, bro, before we end it out? And any shout outs?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, anybody that came in and watched the live and enjoyed it, I appreciate your time, because time is the most important currency to me. More important than money is time. When it comes to a question for you, my last question for you is, give me your dream guest. Every host got a dream guest. Who is like your dream guest? Like, give me 3 of them. Dream guest. I'm talking about like celebrity. I'm talking about like big time.
All right, I don't know if everybody follows this guy, but his name is David Emonitier.
Okay.
David Emonitier. I look up to this guy.
Really?
Something different. You know what I mean? Okay. And I'm talking about he was like #1 network marketer in the world.
Okay.
At one point, but now I think he's building his own network marketing team, and David Emonitier is one.
Okay.
If I could have had Bob Proctor passed away. If I could have had Bob Proctor on this show, man, I tell you, boy. I tell you, boy.
That's the OG. OG.
That would be crazy. And OG. 3, Mike Todd.
Yeah.
It's funny because there was this exercise where it says to speak to the most influential people, pick 3 of them, and to speak to them and have a counsel with them at night before you go to sleep.
I like that.
Those 3 is automatically in there. You know what I mean? Like Bob Proctor, I would go to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that. Use that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's that meditation. That's that tapping in.
Yeah. Yes, sir, man.
And the streams of consciousness. I'm with you. Man. I'm with you.
Yo, man.
Hey,
Sean P, man. Thanks, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You gotta come on mine, bro.
Yes, sir.
I gotta kick that before I will bring you on mine.
That's a fact, man. You know we're gonna do it, bro. You know the hand is extended the same way. I'm appreciative for you being on here, and definitely appreciative for asking me to do an interview. I started giving other people interviews because I always wanted to be in that seat to get interviewed. So you even asking me that right there is like the utmost, you know what I mean? And I appreciate that.
That's how I started. I came on here trying to be a guest first for a long time. Kept getting no's, kept getting no response. I said, you know what? If I can't go in that door, I'm going to kick in my own door.
Yeah.
So I started doing strong people's. That's how the whole thing even started.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be a guest. That's all I wanted.
Yeah, man. And I found that giving somebody what I would want, man, like that's priceless. You know what I mean? Sean P, man, I appreciate your time, my brother. Read, remember, repeat. Y'all know what's going on right now. We are reading How to Win Friends and Influence People. Tap in. Definitely make sure y'all go follow Sean P. His @ is SHOUTOUTS the Griot. Am I saying it right, bro?
Yeah, SHOUTOUTS the Griot Polador.
Okay.
SHOUTOUTS the Griot Polador. Yeah. That's across all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all platforms. TikTok. Type that in, you will find me. And I try to do a video a day. It's my personal discipline. I do a video per day, no matter what. Holidays, birthdays, anything. I'm still going on live. So there it is.
Yes, sir. And make sure y'all get some Sean P merch, man. You know what I mean? We got to get some merch, bro. I told you I'm going to get some merch from you, man. Let me know how we go through that. I'm going to speak to you after this. And, we need you on the show again, bro. Appreciate your time. Much love. And y'all already know, read, remember, repeat. Always use the application, man. The application is next, man. Let's go. Let's get it.
Peace.